What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to talk to you about Dungeons and Dragons. So, if you don't know, we've got an actual few playlists, maybe a few videos at least, on D&D. So, if you guys want to check out D&D stuff, take a look through our videos, and you'll see some pretty interesting stuffs. Some D&D encounters, some character profiles, and whatnot. But today, I'm going to be talking about an interesting topic. A topic that I've decided to take on in a more personal level. So basically, I'm talking about what are the challenges of playing difficult characters. When I say difficult characters, I don't mean playing like a race you're not used to, or playing like, oh, I only play fighters and now I'm playing like a wizard. Not something like that. So I guess to better understand what I'm talking about, I'll let you know. In my opinion. So, I'm in 3 D&D games currently. One where I'm the DM, and 2 where I'm playing as, as a character. And most of the time, my characters have been pretty much the standard character that you'd see in any D&D game. Obviously, when you pick your characters, you want to pick somebody powerful, somebody that achieves a lot. Obviously, you want to be the best fighter, the best spellcaster, that kind of thing. However, the character that I decided to play recently in the campaign that's probably been going on the longest, since it's almost a year that we've been playing this campaign, is a character who's disabled. So first and foremost, we've been in this campaign for a year, and we've grown pretty close to one another with our characters and ourselves. And I was using a warlock, Alar, if you've been keeping up with our videos. And he has died. That would be a video for another time. But with his passing, it came the time to choose another character. And the character that I chose was Eryx. Eryx is a sea elf sorcerer who was a pirate. Unfortunately, his pirate ship was attacked. He got pushed overboard, and it happened at a time when the seas were storming. The riptide took him out, waves were crashing, pretty much he was at the mercy of the sea, and the sea is merciless. His body was ripped apart on coral, bashed over and over again. He ended up having multiple lacerations and broken bones, and he was just, once the storm was over, he was floating on the surface of the water, bleeding, and sharks were going to come to kill him and have a feast. Fortunately for him, though, he was picked up by an octopus. This octopus took him to his master's lair, I guess you could say, and it was a lair with another sea elf sorcerer. This sea elf did all he could to save Eryx, my character, but unfortunately the damage was too much. His vertebrae was shattered in certain places, and my character is paralyzed from the neck down. To counter this, though, he said that the only thing that he could think of to give me some type of mobility back was to link me to the octopus that saved me. Basically, create a familiar. So, what he ended up doing was placing the octopus on my back, having 2 of its tentacles wrapped around my legs, 2 of its other tentacles wrapped around my arms, and the rest of the tentacles wrapped around my torso. With this, we can magically link up, and my thoughts get transferred to it, and basically it's able to move me almost like a puppet would. Essentially, the octopus is the puppet master, and I'm the puppet. So I can still speak, I can still think for my own. It's just when it comes to movement and strength and that kind of thing, I'm using the stats of the octopus. When I first came up with this idea, and I spoke to the DM, he's like, it's cool, great backstory and everything, but I gotta change 2 things. 1, you're not disabled, and 2, you don't have an octopus backpack thing. At first I'm like, what the heck, bro? Like, these are the 2 defining traits for my character. Take these away and I'm just your average everyday sea elf. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. So after a few backs and forths, trying to compromise, basically, he finally caved in and said, sure, you can do that, but there's going to be some consequences, as you would think, for somebody who can't move their body. So first and foremost, as I stated before, I can't use my own strength since I can't move my own body. So I'm using the strength of an octopus, which is at like -3. And when it comes to, like, let's say the octopus dies, then I have no means of movement. I have to either find another animal that I can create as a familiar, or somehow resurrect the octopus, which is a very, very huge detriment to me. But it's a challenge that I'd like to take on. When I was first introducing this character to the party, they were so intrigued. Like, whoa, what the heck is going on? Like, am I controlling myself? Like, what's the octopus doing there? Is my character the actual octopus and he's just using this body as like kind of like a symbiote relationship? So they were really surprised. They were like, what the heck is going on here? And that's crazy because, like, we've fought dragons, we've seen like ghosts from like dead people and stuff like that, but this really took their attention. So it's a very interesting thing. Like I stated before earlier, you want to pick a character who's like the best sorcerer, the strongest fighter, the champion of this town. And I'm picking a character who can't even move on his own. So there's a lot of underlying personality traits that I have to take into consideration. My character deals with trauma in a comedic way, but deep down inside, he's hurting. He's trying to find his brother. He's trying to live life as best as he can, knowing that he's at a huge disadvantage from everybody else. Yes, he's a sorcerer. Yes, he can cast powerful spells, being that we're all level 8. I can cast polymorph, lightning bolt, that kind of thing. However, if anything happens to this octopus, I'm screwed. And the way we kind of decided to go with this whole octopus being like a big target on my back, literally, is if an attack goes through and hits me above my AC, there's a 30% chance that I can hit the octopus, and it's just a regular old octopus that's in the monster manual or whatever. So super low stats. He can literally die in one hit. So if he goes down, there goes my mobility. I'm pretty much a sitting duck. I only have access to my spells that I can cast without movement. So that is not a good I mean, obviously when I get to level 10, I can change one of my meta magics to basically cast a spell without doing anything, so that's a huge, huge plus. But making it to that level, we'll see how that goes. So that is a huge detriment. Obviously I could use polymorph to turn into a beast, giving me access to more hit points, which is basically free hit points that you won't be able to target my octopus because we're all polymorphed into this creature thing. So that's a huge benefit. I also have to almost think like 2 or 3 steps ahead of the DM when we're in fights, because I have to position myself in a way where they can't target my back. Because if they, let's say they teleport behind me, that's a clean shot to my back. There's very little I can do to stop that from happening. So positioning is key. And overall, just tactically, I have to be on my A game every single time, or else I run to the chances of them killing my familiar, and I'd be easy target for them. At this point, it's only been 1 session that I've introduced the character with the rest of the party, so they're not 100% okay with me. They're still trying to figure out if I'm a good guy, if I'm a bad guy, what are my motives. So I still haven't gained their trust, their companionship, and I need that in case my familiar dies so they could come to the rescue and help me out. And then the other thing too, since it is an octopus, I constantly have to be thinking about its moisture. I need it to stay in water. I can't dry out. If I'm going to be in the desert, like what am I going to do to keep this my mobility basically alive? So it's a lot to think about with this character, and it's a challenge that I feel almost any other character in D&D doesn't have to go through, because most of the time they're super powerful, awesome wizard, mages, fighters that can do anything. They can jump. They're basically Superman, and I'm over here playing, you know, regular old Joe. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this character does in this campaign. The DM, I'm pretty sure, is gonna do everything he can to make my choices have dire consequences. So I gotta be on my A game whenever I'm playing him, and we'll see where that goes. With that being said, I've got two questions for you guys. One, how should I play my character? If you have any tips, any tricks, anything like that. Should I focus on like defensive spells? Should I be in the back of the party just plopping the spells left and right? Like I said, I am level 8 sorcerer, doing sea magic, or sea sorcery. So if you got any spells that it's a must, let me know. At the same time, if you ever played a character that's pretty much giving you a handicap in your campaign, let me know how that went for you, what was very rewarding for you, and what was very challenging for you. Obviously, if you pick like an Aarakocra, you've already got a huge bonus because you can fly. So that's another thing too. Like, I guess my bonus would be like I could swim. But I mean, right now we're on a pirate ship, so it's really benefiting for me in the environment that we're in. But who knows? We might have to go to like a desert or the forest, and finding water. I mean, I guess I could create water, but finding enough water to keep my octopus safe, and also being aware of like traps. Yeah, so it's a lot to think about, but I think this will be a very challenging character that can be very rewarding. But we'll see how that goes. So again, guys, let me know if you played with any challenging characters and how you overcame that, and any tips you have for me. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys next time.